Hi everyone, my name is Amanda Lynn Petrin. Welcome to my AuthorTube channel. So I've been seeing videos floating around recently of writing goals and dreams, or my wildest publishing dreams, and I figured that I would really like to participate. I've broken it up into 5 goals and 5 dreams. So my 5 goals are things that I can take concrete steps towards achieving, whereas my dreams are things that I don't really have control over. Number 1 for me is to become a full-time author. I would love it to be able to support myself full-time from my writing and just writing what I want and not having to worry about also working another job to make ends meet, because right now technically I guess I am a full-time author because during COVID I've been mostly just staying at home writing, but I'm definitely not making a living at it, and I would love to be able to support myself fully from my writing. Number 2 is to have my own writing space. Right now I write on my couch in the middle of my living room, which although it is kind of comfy sometimes, it would be awesome if I could have an office where I'd have space for like my desk calendar, my laptop, drawers for pens, shelves for notebooks and binders, and I wouldn't have to take everything out and put it away every single time I was using it. I could have like an organized system, and I could have a Kanban board on the wall, and I would just have a nice space where I could film without being, again, kind of in between my kitchen and my living room right now. Number 3 would be to have a book signing. So I would love it if it could be at like Chapters or Indigo or at some kind of a book con or book festival. They have something in Montreal called the Salon du Livre, and I would love to be a part of that. But the top goal of this that becomes sort of a dream would be to be at San Diego Comic-Con. This is one of my acting dreams as well, is to be on a panel at Comic-Con, but I have to write a really cool fantasy series that gets turned into a TV show or a movie series, I'm guessing, but it would just be amazing if that could happen. Number 4 would be to sell 10,000 copies of my books. 10,000 is a really high number. It's kind of arbitrary, but it feels like it's big enough that it's like, wow, oh my god, it's crazy. But it's also achievable. Like, it will take a long time and I'll have to write a lot of books, but I definitely believe that as long as I don't give up on this dream, I will make it. Number 5 is to go to a writer's retreat. I've seen it in so many videos, and every single time they mention it, I'm like, yes, that sounds like so much fun. I would love to just go away for like a week or a weekend with a bunch of other authors, and just we can do writing sprints and talk about, you know, publishing and our brands and our stories and our works in progress and things we've learned and things we want to do and things we could do better, and just living in that world of fellow authors. Because right now it is fun that I do have somebody who's working at home with me. I'm not writing it alone all the time because my boyfriend is working from home, but he's not writing. It's not the same concept. Like, I love doing writing sprints, and it would just be so amazing if I could do like live writing sprints with a bunch of other authors. Number 6 is where I move into more of the dreams category, because I don't have any influence on whether or not this comes true, but I would love to receive some fan art. This one mostly is just reliant upon having fans who have some kind of artistic ability. My friend has this podcast where one of the, like, not main characters, but like one of my favorite characters is this like group of raccoons who have way more intelligence than your average raccoon, and somebody sent him like a little stuffed raccoon, and I was just like, oh my god, that's the cutest thing ever. I would die like of happiness if somebody did that for me. So I'd love if someday somebody sent me like a drawing of one of my characters, or anything that like one of my stories touched them so much that they felt the need to create something out of it. Just like if somebody wrote fan fiction about one of my stories, like, I have no qualms about that, no copyright issues. Just like go ahead, send that to me, because I would love to read it. Number 7 is to make it onto the New York Times or USA Today bestseller list. I know that you have to sell like 6,000 copies of your book in a week, and there's all kinds of politics around this, and it's not even guaranteed, because if somebody else sold so many more books, you still don't make it. But I just feel like this is something that really legitimizes you as an author. Like, you're worthy of being here, I guess, and I would really love that kind of validation. Number 8 would be to spend a month writing somewhere, kind of like in Europe. I would love to spend a month in Tuscany writing some kind of romance, or in London. I spent 3 months studying at LAMDA, which is the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Arts, and I absolutely loved it. I went to afternoon teas every weekend, and I just walked for hours and hours and hours, and I absolutely loved it and can't wait to go back. So it would just be a dream come true if I could spend a month writing as like research and have it pay itself back with the book sales. That would just be amazing. Number 9 would be to have one of my books featured in a book box, like one of those subscription things where every month or every quarter you get sent a package with books inside. I would just absolutely love it if people who weren't necessarily fans of me just received a copy of my book in the mail. Like if I had more money, I would send out paperback copies to people. I already leave them in those like little library things where it's take a book and leave a book. I like to add my books to those collections, but I just think it'd really be cool if a bunch of subscribers to these boxes just got my books and fell in love with them. Number 10 is kind of far-fetched, especially I have a friend who's like in the middle of going through this process and it's really, really long and complicated from what I can tell, but I would just love to have one of my books be turned into a TV show or a movie or a series of movies. I think it's because I'm an actress also that every single book I write has a character that I see as me, and I always like planned on like when I turn this into a movie, this is who I'll play. For Shards of Glass, it was Rachel, the main character, and then I got a little bit older, so I decided it's okay, I'll just play Haley, her cousin. And then I got a little bit older and I'm like, don't worry, it's fine, I could just play Sarah, you know, the older sister. And now it's gotten to a point where I'm gonna have to play Tracy, her stepmother, because Tracy doesn't have an age limit and I'm getting older by the minute. So yeah, it would be amazing if one of my books can be turned into a movie and I can play one of these characters that I dreamed up for myself. I actually don't need to play the main character, but just if I could see it on screen. I've come to realize that my favorite books are the ones that have been turned into movies. Not because, I mean, it is easier to discover books when you hear that they're being made into a movie, but I just love being able to live the story more than once. Like, when you finish a book, it's so sad if you loved it because you have to say goodbye to the characters and there's nothing new, and that breaks my heart. But with a movie, it's like, okay, the book is over, but you get to relive the whole entire story in a movie, and there might be extra that you didn't see, or like something that they reference, and you get to actually see it play out, and I just think that's really amazing, and I would love it if that could happen with one of my stories. So these are my author goals and dreams. I would love to hear yours. If you want to share them in the comments or share them in your own video, you can tag me in it, or if you're not an author and you just have other goals and dreams, I'd love to hear them as well. There's something magical that happens when you tell your dreams out loud. They have a tendency of coming true, so definitely share in the comments, share in your own videos, share your dreams. I'd love to hear them. If you like this video, please like it below. If you want to subscribe to my channel, I release content every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you next week.